Some flash and breaking news to start the video with. We will speak, of course, about transfer market because in January we have to speak about transfers. And then we'll go into all the top league news, all the news that you couldn't miss since yesterday. We start with the first one because there is a player that wants to leave Bundesliga to go back to Premier League. Of course, we're speaking about Timo Werner that as we speak is traveling from Germany to London, undergoing his medicals and then later today signing his contract that will see him on loan until the end of the season. But Tottenham was smart. They said we also want an option to buy around 80-90 million euro. If he's doing well, we can see him in the future continuing to play with the Spurs team. Then if there are players that wants to leave Bundesliga to go back to Premier League, there are some players that are trying to do the way around. We're speaking about Jadon Sancho that is going from Premier League, from Manchester United to Bundesliga, to his former team Dortmund. When I'm saying he's doing it, wait a bit. Don't rush, because the CEO of Dortmund, he confirmed, yes, it's true, it's absolutely not a secret. We are in talks, we are negotiating with Manchester United to have him on loan until the end of the season, but at the moment it is not a here we go. At the moment it is not a done deal, so we'll have to wait a bit. And if there are some players that are joining, there are players that are leaving, there is one that I really want to say welcome back. We are speaking about the Belgian player with the number 17 of the Citizens. Yesterday, Kevin De Bruyne was back after his injury, and I was extremely happy to see him again on the field, because players like that, they have to play. We need to enjoy these players on the field, and he didn't wait too long before having an impact on that 5-0 victory in FA Cup with a beautiful assist. Welcome back, Kevin De Bruyne. Now, some players are leaving, some players are joining, some players we don't know. We are speaking about Le Figaro that is saying, pay attention, Kylian Mbappe, question mark. Is it really a done deal now with Real Madrid? Because since yesterday, a lot of rumors online, they were speaking about the fact that Kylian and Real Madrid, everything is already done. It is a done deal yet. Of course, a few hours later, denial from the camp. Kylian, they are saying it's not true. Nothing is a done deal yet. And nobody, no external voices or pressure can actually rush him to make a decision. We will have to wait. But we know it. With Kylian, it's always the same story. At 9 a.m. in the morning, he's a Blancos player. Then at 12 p.m., he's again back to PSG. A bit later in the afternoon, he's a Liverpool player before being back a PSG player. So we don't know. Let's see what will happen with PSG, but luckily there was also some football on the field yesterday. Not only transfer market, but before telling you all this story, let's present myself for the people that do not know me. My name is Giuseppe, and together we will cover football. Maximum like if you didn't yet. Continue to subscribe. You are doing a fantastic job, so we continue to support the channel. And we start giving you an update about US Revel. Do you remember I was speaking about the 6th division French team that was playing in Coupe de France against PSG? Well, yesterday the game happened. They lost 9-0, but nobody cared about the result except, of course, of PSG and Kylian Mbappe that scored a hat-trick. He scored 3 goals. He had absolutely no mercy for the little team. Well, they were happy. They were enjoying. They were chanting in the stand. They were taking pictures. They were doing a big party. They were even happy that their goalkeeper conceded only 9 goals. Well, at the end of the game, beautiful images between a player from Revel and Ugarte. The player is asking him his shirt from Paris Saint-Germain. Ugarte is giving it, and then he's asking, can you also give me your shirt? Can we swap it? The player, he didn't understand what he was saying. He was asking a confirmation. Can you confirm that you just asked my shirt? Are you speaking about me? That was a really nice one. Yesterday there was also another game, a bigger game in Coupe de France between Lens and Monaco. Lens lost at the penalty, but I really wanted to underline the fantastic performance of the goalkeeper that was saving everything in the 90 minutes, in the 120 minutes, but also in a really long penalty shootout. Congrats to him. That is actually a sub goalkeeper that did extremely well in Coupe de France. If we continue to speak about transfer market, well, there is us today that is saying we start to be a bit annoyed about that story of Kylian Mbappe. Yes, one day, no, the other day, then it's that close, then it's not that close, then maybe we'll extend. We can't keep up anymore. We start to be really annoyed. So, instead of going for the captain of L'équipe de France, we'll go towards another player. that is playing in Premier League. We are speaking about Holland. They are saying, you know what, instead of Mbappe, let's go for that striker, that big player. We never replaced really Benzema, so that could be a fantastic striker. Let's go for him. And actually we are looking at our finances and we are trying to inform ourselves about that specific clause that he has. And looks like, I'm not sure if it's true or not, they discovered that if he would leave outside of the Premier League, the clause would be even lower than the 200 million, more or less clause that we heard about. More closer to the 100 million than the 200 million. And they're saying, you know what, we have that money. And according to us, they're saying the player would love to join Real Madrid. Now, take it with a grain of salt. For what reason? Because we know it, us, Marca, there are papers that are always saying that whatever player in the world wants to go to Real Madrid, yes or no. I don't know if it's true or not. Anyway, from La Liga, we go to Premier League, where yesterday was another big game. 0 for Arsenal, Liverpool 2. Arsenal lost again. What is happening to the Gunners? What is happening to the Gunners? Partially, Arteta will give us an answer, but you see the first pages of Daily Express Sport that is saying outgunned once again. And that's what hurts the Gunners once again, because it's not the first time. If you're looking at the last 4 games, they were not even able to win a single game. The last time that they played against Liverpool in Premier League, it was 1-1. This time they were not even able to score. Total disaster. Where you see, Arteta did this complaining a bit, and he's even saying, you know what? What we need is a psychological reset after being dumped out of the FA Cup by Liverpool. Total disaster. A coach that is admitting these kind of words, well, I don't find a lot of serenity there. Especially if I continue to read Sunsport that is saying Arteta fears his strikers have mental block. Well, it's again your job a bit to make sure that you are unlocking that mental block, because it's not okay. You had a lot of opportunities yesterday, it can happen. But having a mental block when you're actually doing quite good, it's a problem. And you know it, during that Christmas break, during Boxing Days, well, they were extremely disappointed, but it's not time to give up. You have to continue. Arteta is also saying we must get our heads right. Well, it's time to do it, because otherwise you will have a lot of problems. Who knows, maybe being even out of that top 4. They are acting and they are trying to react also going on the transfer market, because they are in talks for Everton midfielder. We are speaking about the Belgian Onana. Maybe can reinforce them. That's one that we will have to follow. On the other side, Liverpool is doing extremely well. They are first in EPL. They are now going to the next round of FA Cup, and they don't want immediately to reinforce themselves. On the other side, they are giving players away that had not a lot of playing time. We are speaking about Fabio Carvalho, that will go on a free transfer, no option to buy, to Hull City, and then he will come back at the end of the season. Now, yesterday was another game in La Liga. In Copa del Rey, and Barcelona was risking really big, because they were playing against a really small team, and they were risking it until the end of the game, where first they were able to score a 3-1 before being come back nearly. It was a 3-2 victory for them. Otro susto, another fear is the title of Mundo Deportivo, because they were really fearing. And then Sport is going even harder with clasificados y nada más. We go through, we qualify to the next round, but nothing else. A total disaster. Even Vitor Roque entered in the second half. They were expecting and waiting him like the Messiah. At the moment, not the same impact as the first game of the Turkish kid Arda Güler with Real Madrid. In Italy, in Serie A, yesterday a lot of game has been played, Saturday and Sunday, with Torino that is actually doing the surprise of Serie A, beating Napoli 3-0 in a really big atmosphere. Well, you know it, the president of Napoli, De Laurentiis, said, we did a lot of mistake, I did a lot of mistake, I need to be accountable for that. I will solve it on the transfer market, and my first reinforcement will be Pasquale Mazzocchi. Well, yesterday he entered at the 46th minute and he went out at the 50th minute after an assassin tackle yesterday. I don't know, the pressure, or I don't know. At the end they lost 3-0. There was one that played more minutes than Pasquale Mazzacchi, was the Squirrel that was there in pre-game and also during the game. Incredible. He played more minutes than Mazzocchi. Anyway, there is another one that is scared because not also him is not sure if he will finish the season. It's the one that replaced Rudy Garcia. We are speaking about Mazzarri, the coach of Napoli, that is there, but yesterday he was reassured because they said he is 100% part of our plans. We are not considering to sack the manager. The fact is that at the moment, since the start of the season, if we are comparing it with last season after match day 19, well, Napoli is doing actually the worst progression. Minus 22 points versus last year. A total collapse, a huge collapse, where on the other side, there is a plus 11 for Inter that does fantastically well. They are first in Serie A with 48 points after match day 19. But Juventus is not giving up. Yesterday they played against Salernitana that they were able to beat in Coppa Italia 6-1. Much more difficult yesterday in Serie A where they only won 2-1 and they had to wait until the 91st minute. Hard Juve. Juve that is not giving up. That was also the message of Dusan Vlahovic that said, we don't give up. We don't know how the season will be, but we don't give up. And then he went to his supporters in Salerno to celebrate without shirts, receiving, of course, a yellow card. Fabrizio Romano is giving us an update about the transfer market of Juventus with now the period, the point, the transfer of Calvin Phillips from Manchester City will not go through to Juventus because they are not interested anymore. They pointed their eyes on a little player that is called Thiago Diallo, not a done deal yet, but they are in advanced stage, while Calvin Phillips could join Newcastle on loan. If yesterday there were other beautiful surprises in Serie A, it is of course Dean Huijsen, young player from Juventus that went on loan to Roma, that yesterday played 45 minutes. If you don't know him yet, please go on social media. Dean Huijsen is the name. He played with a maturity that was incredible, a player that you will hear for the next 10, 15, probably 20 years. Fantastic center back yesterday. And then of course Mourinho with the supporters of Roma in the stands that were chanting Jose Mourinho, la 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 la, Jose Mourinho. Not because they won, because at the end they did 1-1 against Atalanta in a game that would have told us who could possibly compete to enter that top 4 between the Bergamaschi and the team of the capital. Well, they were chanting because he received another red card and looked like they were all happy. Jose Mourinho will not be there in the big game against Milan, another game that is missing. Who will not go to Roma? It is Leonardo Bonucci. We know that the deal collapsed. He really wants to leave also Bundesliga. And you remember when we were speaking about Timo Werner in the beginning that really wanted to leave Bundesliga? Well, Leonardo Bonucci after 6 months wants to leave Berlin and he might go to another league, to Fenerbahce, to the Super League of Turkey. Will it happen or not? Let's see. We will have to wait because this will happen during the month of January. I hope you enjoyed today's video with a lot of news, with a lot of things about the different leagues and transfer market. Let me know if I forgot something big in the comment section because I'm really curious to read you, to answer you. My name is Giuseppe and you have been footballed.